The DOJ investigation into crimes perpetrated by Hillary Clinton has finally just about come to a close. So the question is it finally time to lock her up? It appears nope. Now, the Justice Department has quietly announced that their 2-year investigation into Hillary Clinton, which includes looking into the Clinton Foundation, Benghazi, and Uranium One, has basically come to a close, citing no findings. Inconclusive. Now, the Washington Post had reported on Thursday that after continuing on for more than 2 years, U.S. Attorney John Huber's investigation had, quote, effectively ended with no tangible results. After combing through documents and conferring with federal law enforcement officials looking into the Clinton Foundation in Little Rock, Arkansas, the Post reported that Hubert has found nothing worth pursuing, let alone any criminal charges. The U.S. attorney has not officially reported any results to the Justice Department, however, and the inquiry is technically still ongoing, but officials cited by the Post say that Huber's years-long investigation has by this point largely finished and with nothing to show for. Shocker. Oh, you were expecting Hillary Clinton to go to prison any second now. Let me just go back. There's a man named H.A. Goodman. I remember sparring with this guy. And he would say, and look, first, I enjoyed his work. Because he's very pro Bernie Sanders, was saying Bernie Sanders can win, he can win. By the end of the 2016 primary, he was saying Hillary Clinton's going to go to prison. Hillary Clinton's going to go to prison. They're going to lock her up anytime. The FBI is going to come, they're going to lock her up for crimes. H.A. Goodman, by the way, is a Trumper, right? He's like completely pro-Trump. Look, I'm not going to say he's a grifter, but he's totally a grifter. So, and this is more examples, right? How many investigations are they going to do into Hillary Clinton? The Trump administration, the administration that wants so desperately to find something on Hillary Clinton, couldn't find a goddamn thing. Amazing. And look, I've criticized Hillary Clinton on the show. I don't like Hillary Clinton, right? I am no Hillary stan, all right? But look, facts are facts. And the fact is, she's done nothing criminal. Now, that's not to say that she hasn't done anything shady. Of course she has. The same kind of shady things that Republicans do all the freaking time. So let's be fair about that, right? She made a ton of money off politics. Billions of dollars, her and Bill, right? And so, look, she serves the wealthy and corporations at the expense of the working class. Of course she does. So again, I'm no Hillary stan. I'm not in favor of her. Is she corrupt? Absolutely, but not that much more corrupt than the average slimy politician. The only major difference is she wears a pantsuit. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of underselling her here. No, she's actually really good at playing the Washington game. Now, she's good at Washington insider stuff, but as we saw in the 2016 election, she's terrible when it comes to actually appealing to regular people. She's great when it comes to donors and all that stuff. But regular people, they're not a fan. But here's the thing. You don't get rich and powerful in Washington if you don't know how to play the game, if you don't know how to smooth up the donors. And look, I think she's ruthless. And she does all this stuff, amasses that power, and she did it without breaking any actual laws. So now back to the investigation. Now, Donald Trump, at the time, 2017 when this was launched, Trump was under the Russia investigation. And so he gets mad. He throws a fit and he says, oh, yeah, I'm going to go investigate Hillary Clinton. Oh, really? Really? Now, the Justice Department, by the way, the Justice Department was like, okay, I mean, I guess. Yeah, you want us to look into Hillary Clinton? I guess we can look into Hillary Clinton, but we know that it's just political. Well, now getting the Justice Department to investigate your political opponent, that's deeply problematic, but that's nothing new for Republicans, right? As they investigated, Barack Obama for years. So now the Justice Department knew. Senior justice officials cited by the Post said the investigation, and this is great, had been largely viewed as little more than a way to appease Trump and his Republican allies. And officials expected the inquiry was, quote, unlikely to lead to anything of significance. One source told the Post, quote, we didn't expect much of it, and neither did Huber. And as time went on, a lot of people just forgot about it. Oh, that's devastating. Devastating. I mean, yeah, the president asked us to look into his political, opponent that back in 2016, he's not going to run again, because he was angry and his fifis were hurt, and we knew it, but we did it anyway, and we just kind of forgot about it. What? It wasn't going to get any results anyway. So, look, there's what you have it. An investigation which wasted taxpayer money also that they could appease the baby. And that's it. Another investigation that came out with no negative impacts for Hillary Clinton. And at this point, why does there need to be? She'd just go and retire. Spend time with her grandkids. Do something positive with her life. Now, outside of politics. I mean, it would be nice. But look, there was another investigation, by the way, into Hillary Clinton. And this was into her emails and her private server. Now, look, I remember talking about this, and I remember saying that she was 100% irresponsible for having this private server, because it could be, that classified material could end up in the system and then get possibly intercepted by other people, other countries. Now, that's funny because Republicans were saying sort of the same thing, right? But even worse. Now, what's funny about that is that the Trump administration has no security. They're literally getting spied on by the Israelis and other countries too. Donald Trump uses unsecured cell phones, and the administration is full of people who use private email addresses and servers. So complete and total rank hypocrisy, right? Now, I actually do care about national security, and so that's why I spoke out against Hillary Clinton using her private server, and that's why I also speak out against Donald Trump. And so now, what did they find in that investigation? The investigation found that while 38 individuals committed 91 security violations in emails sent to or from the private server, ultimately, the server largely wasn't used for transmitting classified information. So basically, she messed up, but in messing up, she wasn't actually doing it maliciously. And so it was a lapse of judgment. Now, let me give you the report on the investigation. Quote, while there were some instances of classified information being inappropriately introduced into an unclassified system in furtherance of expedience, as in being lazy, by and large, the individuals interviewed were aware of security policies and did their best to implement them in their operations. There was no persuasive evidence of systemic, deliberate mishandling of classified information. Again, a case of bad judgment, but not criminal. Oops. Now, again, you compare that to Donald Trump's bad judgment and the bad judgment of people around him. President Trump right now has 6 people that were in his orbit around him, working for him, that are now currently serving time in prison, including his co-conspirator, Michael Cohen. So you want to talk about bad judgment, you want to talk about investigations. An investigation had found that President Trump had used his charity foundation for his own personal gain. The Trumps are no longer allowed to operate a charity in New York. They're barred. So you want to talk about malicious. That's malicious. Who's a real crook? Crooked Donald. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.